whenever I make a video about David Haye, people complain. And whenever I don't make a video about David Haye, people complain. So I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't when it comes to this guy. But a lot of people have been asking my opinion on David Haye's recent comments regarding a potential fight between himself and Anthony Joshua. So here it goes. My opinion is that David Haye is finished as a world-class heavyweight. His style is a young man's style, which relies heavily on speed, reflexes, and athleticism. And those things don't age well. And it's especially problematic when your opponents are all significantly bigger and stronger and taller and longer than you. It means that you don't just have to be a little bit faster than your opponents. You don't just have to be a little bit better in terms of reflexes than your opponents. You have to be dramatically better just to be able to compete with them. Okay? And David Haye was never the most technically gifted fighter. As I said, he relies heavily on reflexes, speed, and athleticism. And he's been out of the ring for 3 years. He's had injuries, apparently. So I don't think he can regain the form that he had back in 2010, 2011. That's just my opinion. And even if he could regain the form he had back in 2010, 2011, I don't think it would be enough, because I'm one of the few people who actually thinks David Haye was overrated as a heavyweight. He was an excellent cruiserweight, yes, but as a heavyweight, in my opinion, he was overrated. His best wins were over Derek Chisora and Nikolai Valoev. Other than that, David Haye never did anything at heavyweight. And Nikolai Valoev had already lost to Ruslan Chagayev. People forget that. They act as though David Haye did something amazing by beating Valoev. He already lost to Chagayev. And in all reality, he also lost to a 50-year-old Evander Holyfield. If you go watch that Holyfield fight back, Holyfield blatantly won that fight. Okay, so he didn't do anything special by beating Valoev. Then he beat Derek Chisora, which, yeah, it was a nice win, but he was struggling for 5 rounds until he found the knockout punch. Yes, he was winning on the cards, but I thought he was getting very, very tired. He was looking sloppy as the fight progressed, and Chisora's pressure, I think, was starting to get to him when he found that knockout blow. Before he found that knockout blow, should I say. So I've never been sold on David Haye as a heavyweight, and right now the heavyweight division is a lot stronger than it was back in David Haye's prime years. So I can't see him ascending the heavyweight ranks and getting a shot at the... I mean, it's possible he get a shot at the WBC title if he can sign to Al Heyman, but I wouldn't pick David Haye against most of the top heavyweights out there. I mean, some people are going to be talking about Wilder, but I'm not even sure about him beating Wilder, to be honest with you. He's been out of the ring so long. His reflexes, speed, and athleticism, they're not going to be better now than they were back in 2010. They're going to be worse. Be realistic, people. So, and I wouldn't pick him against Povetkin. I wouldn't pick him against Klitschko. And by the time Anthony Joshua gets to a level where he'd be willing to fight a David Haye. I mean, David Haye even said in a recent interview where he talked about a potential fight with Joshua, he even said that Joshua may get to Klitschko before he does. So David Haye's looking at the long haul. He's looking for maybe a 2-year, 3-year plan to get to the heavyweight title. And by that time, he's going to be what? 37, 38 years old? There's no way that in 2 years' time, this guy's going to beat Anthony Joshua, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of the young up-and-coming heavyweights, where you'll put David Haye in with them and they'd have a very good chance of knocking him out. I'm just not convinced that he can do it now. And even if he was at his best, as I say, in his form, in the form that he was in back in 2010, 2011, I still don't think that would be enough. I think the heavyweight division has too many dangerous fighters in it now, too many young, hungry, athletic fighters. If you compare David Haye's performance against Klitschko to Sultan Ibragimov's performance against Klitschko, tell me what the difference was. It was pretty much the same as what Ibragimov did, but no one's shouting and screaming about Ibragimov making a comeback and him being the only threat to Klitschko or the next best guy to Klitschko. Bryant Jennings did better against Klitschko than David Haye did. So, like I say, I'm probably in a minority, but I think David Haye was always overrated as a heavyweight. Good cruiserweight, but overrated as a heavyweight. And if he comes back now, I think, and if he does do what he says he's planning to do, which is fight a lot of the up-and-coming contenders, I think David Haye will get beat before he ever gets a title shot. The only chance he has, in my opinion, of getting a title shot and actually winning, or getting to a title shot and winning, is if he somehow manages to go the Chigaev route. If he goes that route, then maybe, because Chigaev is past his best himself. He's out of shape. But I don't know what's going on with the whole Chigaev, Lucas Brown, Freza Kendo situation. I don't know what's going on there. So that's just my take on it. Again, I know some people are going to complain that I made a video about David Haye and they're going to say he don't deserve the publicity, but people are going to complain regardless, whether I do or don't do this video. So it is what it is. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about David Haye's comments. Do you think he could beat Anthony Joshua? Do you think he can still be a top flight heavyweight again? I don't believe him, man. I'm not convinced. I never really was convinced by Haye as a heavyweight, but maybe you are. Let me know in the comment section below. It's Hatman, I'm out.